Welcome in, guys. It's with Tribal Awakening Ministry, and I'm here tonight with Divine Feminine Presents The Naked Truth, Episode 6. It's called Creating Through the Ashes. And so, to start us off, I had a couple of channelings from the Emperor card and the Magician here. So, because these cards don't exactly have, they didn't come with a book, so I actually looked up the actual definitions of Emperor and Magician. So we're going to find out here in a minute what those mean. But I'm going to kick us off with the overall energy from the Halloween Oracles by Stacey DeMarco. I went ahead and used these for the Divine Feminine as well, in case we had some shadow aspects that we were going to pull up in this reading for the Divine Feminine. So anyway, we're going to start off with this energy. I had to let someone know that I was kind of busy. But anyway, sorry for that. My point, basically, that I'm going to make here is that there is a message and a warning in. It's not a surprise that it actually came through literally in this video tonight. There's actually a warning with this card from Spirit to the Divine Feminines that right now we have a lot of this heavy Magician energy, which is the great Divine Masculine, who is integrating right now and helping the Divine Feminine right now integrate the masculine within herself, which is the Divine Masculine within herself. The Divine Feminine is actually mirroring the Divine Masculine at this point in time, in this energy of he's in the Empress energy and she is in the Emperor energy. Right now, they are both manifesting very heavily at this time with the great creators. So you have the great Mother God and the great Father God right now working very, very heavily with the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine energies. Okay, so the message is about distractions to the Divine Feminine. The Divine Feminine is more easily distracted because her level of intuition is extremely high. So it takes a little bit of effort, an extra effort on the Divine Feminine's part to really stay grounded when her third eye and her crown chakras and heart chakra is wide open. So like when you have a Divine Feminine who is really, really sitting in her priestess energy, and there are lots of divine downloads happening right now for the Divine Feminine. I'm not going to say it's any heavier than what the Divine Masculine is experiencing, but right now, on an intuitive level, the Divine Feminine is extremely open to the energies that are happening right now. Extremely empathetic. But the message for this card here is, it's called scrying. And for those of us that are a part of a more magical sense of nature, we know what scrying is. We usually use different kinds of tools for scrying. Tarot cards, oracle cards are a way to scry. This oracle board underneath the cards right here. Some people call it a Ouija board. I call it an oracle board, but it's another tool for scrying for energy. The definition of scrying is about the technique of seeing unconscious energies that appear from within or on a surface. Okay, so this is another scrying tool, which is called a pendulum, and scrying for energy. With the pendulum, is a little different, but there are multitudes of different ways, like even a crystal ball is a scrying tool. But anyway, Again, before I really get heavy into this, I just want to say welcome in to Divine Feminine's Naked Truth episode. And yeah, so anyway, let's get really started for real. So this card is about describing for the technique of seeing unconscious energies that appear from within or on a surface. Now, this is the Divine Feminine's challenge at the moment in these times and in this energy. This energy is a message for the Divine Feminine to be aware of distractions at this moment, both inside and out. It is time to quiet the mind and scry for the truth, Divine Feminine. The truth is inside of your own intuition, so focus inward and relax into yourself. Receive the information and do not overthink. Just receive. The wisdom that takes a balance of logic and imagination and intuition is for true wisdom. Okay, so basically it says to soften your eyes, begin the trance, whole worlds are open, so begin the dance. And that is the mantra of this card. But beware, Divine Feminine, of the deceptions that are going to be presented to you at this time. Okay, so while you have the Divine Masculine clearing out a lot of sacral chakra, root chakra, solar plexus energy right now, this is most definitely affecting your upper level chakras at the moment, Divine Feminines. So for any Divine Masculines that may slip onto this video, this is also a message to you guys to let you guys know that at the same very time, the Divine Masculines, because we are clearing out so much shit in our upper level chakras, that it's also catapulting the masculine and Divine Feminine energies in the collective and what's going on within the Divine Feminine energies right now, with the great Divine Masculine overpowering the Divine Feminines here on Earth with his great cosmic magical powers. Okay, so now moving back to the Emperor card. The Emperor card is a sovereign ruler of great power and rank, especially one ruling an empire from a higher monarchy. So His Imperial Highness is here to say that he's pushing the Divine Feminine forward into her energies of being a sovereign being. Okay. So with it, the Empress, the Grand Empress, working on the Divine Masculine side as well, the great Divine Mother Goddess, it's basically the same, is that the divine sovereign powers of the universe of masculine and feminine are working with the human collective right now, the TwinFlames, to come into their sovereignty. And the Divine Masculine is here to usher the Divine Feminine upward into helping her build and transcend and manifest through this time. So the definition of magician is an entertainer who is skilled in producing illusions, or this is about conjurers of magic, skilled persons who are skilled in magic, persons with extraordinary skills, influence, or qualities. So the Divine Feminine is in this very, very heavy creator manifester energy. Generation, or for some Divine Feminines who are in that human design chart of being generators, this is what you guys are doing. You're generating the energy to build an empire in any sense of the word. This is about wholeheartedly manifesting with your skills, with your magic, with your creative magic at this point in time. So let's jump right on in. Let's figure out what's going on here in this energy and find out the reveal of what these cards are all about. So first card out is blind spots. Right now, this is what the Divine Feminine is having to work through. Okay, and you have the skull, which represents to me human knowledge. This is also ancestral as well, I do believe. The ancestors are trying to work with the Divine Feminine at this particular time because she's got this crown chakra energy going on and it is being illuminated. So above her crown right here is her soul star chakra, which is also being highly activated into the 5D energies at this particular time. So there may also be that possibility where she needs to delve into that third eye energy to be able to see into the metaphysical realm, to be able to actually discern at this point in time what kinds of energies are in her blind spots that she may possibly need to clear out. This is also the past energy as well. So this card in my hand is also, this is going to refer to the energy of the present and what the divine feminine is doing here in the present moment. So we have creating through the ashes. This is the card that sparked the inspiration for the caption of this video. And I chose to wait to put that energy out here for when I could flip the card over. So I'm going to actually read this card from the book and get into the meaning from the book with you guys on this energy. The first thought that I had intuitively whenever I got the title and I saw this card flip over when shuffling it out was the grand rising of the phoenix. You know how the phoenix goes through the different cycles of birth to death and then to rebirth again. And it's always been one of my, favorite mythical creatures, I guess you'd say, next to the unicorn. Obviously, we all love unicorns. I don't give a fuck if you say you don't like unicorns. You like unicorns, damn it. Anyway. Moving forward. Sorry. I kind of had a tendency to want to channel Ghetto Nun, where she's like, moving on. Okay, so I keep looking in the wrong section. Okay, I think I finally got it, guys. So we have the Skull of Darkness. I'm going to go ahead and read that first. So this is about diving into a place of the shadows and darkness and the unknown, and yet we search to reveal and find that our power has grown. So I think after coming out of this dark night of the soul energy, this is what is giving this card a kicker here. These cards together are very powerful because the divine feminine has just gone through that extreme dark night of the soul. And so this is kind of like her reward. It's like rising through the ashes at this point in time. I just want to take a pause to give some recognition to some of my to my new viewer, Tina Michelle. Thank you for joining. I just want to say welcome in, and yes, unicorns do rock. Unicorns rock very much. So so yeah, this is a very, very extremely powerful transformational energy that we have going on here. And the beautiful, mysterious Skull of Darkness encourages us to look to the part of ourselves that normally remains hidden or unseen. We may not appreciate or like certain aspects of ourselves, and yet sometimes our greatest treasures lie within these areas. How many times have you heard of famous artists or people who are extremely successful in their fields or being bullied for being so different? But yet it is their very differences from others that make them so powerful. Wow. Okay, so additionally, all of us at some stage in life have certain blind spots that may cause us grief and trouble. Although we cannot see the issue clearly, it is repeated patterns of pain that may alert us to them. Symptoms, if you will. For example, the same things keep happening over and over again. Maybe we feel betrayed repeatedly, fail at something repeatedly, not complete tasks continually. Peace and pattern breaking can be achieved by doing the work and uncovering our blind spot, or even consulting trusted friends or professionals to assist us to see what it is that we cannot see. Or, sometimes I like to say, kind of helping us to see what we kind of refuse to see. It's kind of like we do already know the truth. And sometimes when we already know the truth and it's not something that we want to hear, Sometimes we'll kind of shove it under the rug as if we didn't, we're just going to pretend like we didn't hear that, because we want to have a hopeful outcome about things. But I think in a much larger retrospect, what this means here for the divine feminine is that, she's gone through these areas of blind spots in her past. I think this is the past energy. She's already learned the lessons here. This is what's being integrated right here in the light above in her soul star chakra. It's like she's not rehashing the past. She's not revisiting the past, but she's reflecting upon the past to see what it is that she has learned and how she is now applying that in the now. And it's really, I think, more about not being blinded to what's happened, but I think looking at it from a different respect. Honestly, this is where I truly feel that the divine feminine's presence really does reside, in this transformational energy here that is coming up from the past. She's kind of reflecting on the past to see kind of where her lessons actually came into play, and how she's going to take what she learned from those lessons and truly integrate that. Okay. So at this point in time, she's creating through the ashes. And so the skull of flowers is coming in to say that she is to blossom and bloom. The work must be done through fire and ashes. Our fortune, it comes. So she's actually being reborn into this energy where she's about to wholeheartedly manifest everything that it is that her heart desires, because she has gone through the lessons of integration. This is also why the great divine masculine is here with her so heavily. So when I said in the masculine video that the twin flame collective is actually bouncing back and forth from masculine to feminine, where the divine masculine is working with the great mother goddess, the divine feminine is working with the great Father God right now. And for the fact that I'm having this huge throat chakra clearing right now, sorry, I'm only coughing because, wow, this energy being blasted wide open here in this space, it's making my throat itch. Wow, that's how heavy this energy is of creation. But it's also a very, very beautiful energy too, because let me read you the meaning of this card and what I mean by she's gone through this period of integration where she's looking at the past and what she's learned with a different respect. She's now holding this space of love for herself. She's truly wholeheartedly being reborn. So before flowers are born, there are sweet buds on a plant that come from a smaller form, like a seed or a bulb. The seed needs to be prepared, nourishing soil to grow its potential. Some plants and trees only seed after a fire or a period of extreme adversity, like a drought or a flood. Sometimes we wish for a different from the one that we have, and this can also mean radical changes. Sometimes to have that new life, everything falls apart to make it so, and that can be uncomfortable. We may lose our relationships, or they may change. We may lose a job, have to move houses, or become ill. All big events that lead to reassessment of the low or the how of our lives. I said low, maybe it's because that's where we're in this energy of the world where we are transforming that lower vibrational energy into something much higher through these awakening processes. And it's not just through the downloads, that we're, at this point in time receiving from our third eye, which is where this beautiful flower is. This is also the color of, the sacral chakra and the solar plexus energies here as well. This is your seat of your power and where your seat of creation, literally comes from. And then we have this, really beautiful blue color behind here, which is why this truth is actually being illuminated right now, you know, at this particular time. Like this card is very, very colorful, but that's also what life is really about. Life is really colorful at the same time. You know, even though we see, you know, we may see death and chaos all around us at this moment, you know, but if we truly look around at the whole, at the, you know, at the bigger picture of things, you know, not only the ancestral knowledge that we have here in the representation of the skull, but we also have this very colorful, very vivid reminder that even though there will be death that comes to us here on earth in the cycles of life, we also have vibrant beauty all around us through these rebirthing energies, through these times, you know. So the divine feminine is very much understanding this at this part in the journey, and this energy that she is allowing, I feel, very much to come in at this point in time. This is being widely receptive. Like, she's widely receptive to this energy that is coming in. So she's very, very much an understanding that the hour of our lives is leading to an assessment of the larger events that are taking place. So the Skull of Flowers is illustrating that there is a sureness and yet a rawness to creating again and to starting fresh. Sometimes the universe gives us a blank state, a slate to work from, so we can build what we really want rather than just settling for less than what we deserve. So the Skull of Flowers celebrates not just a kind of phoenix energy, but an energy of success and at full bloom through complete adversity. And this is also a lesson, very much so, that's been heavy on the divine feminine's journey, is about learning the lessons of adversity and understanding, you know, we have to understand, obviously, with this headspace energy going on here, that there's a deeper meaning to everything that happens in life. You know, there's multiple sides to everything. Sometimes there's that expression that there are two sides to everything. Well, the divine feminine understands from her intuitive sense that, you know, there's multiple sides to everything. We understand very, very deeply that there are multiple sides to everything because we are multidimensional beings. Okay, so moving on. Sorry, Nun, I can't help it. I'm just channeling you, so I'm just going to go with the flow. All right. So that might be a message that some of you might actually find some of her videos very interesting. We also have, this is funny because in finality, we had this card again. And I swear I shuffled this deck like 60 times before I felt satisfied to even try to pull cards, because I totally wanted to clear the energy out from the last reading. So what I found very, very amazing was the fact that the Witch card, the earthly weaver of the worlds energy, came out for the divine feminine in the same exact position as the divine masculine. So they're both definitely on that same energy frequency there. More mirroring energy. So going back, got to stay in sequence here. We have the lamp, which is also, there's a little image of the jack-o'-lantern, which in this deck, the jack-o'-lantern is a card of protection. So right now there is this energy that needs to be remembered, that the divine feminine and divine masculine are here not only to lift the vibrations of the planet, but we must remember that the higher that we lift ourselves in the vibrations, we have to remember that every part of our journey has been about becoming victorious from one level to another. And it's everything about this journey has made us exactly who we are. So it's brought us to this place of creation. So when I said a while ago that the divine feminine was in some heavy remembrance energy, she's thinking about all of the lessons that got her here to this place. And it's kind of much in the same way that the divine masculine has been thinking about his past and in his remembrance of the past. He's more in a forgiveness energy, where the divine feminine is kind of more in the energy of seeing the synchronicities. She's seeing the synchronicities of things. The pieces of the puzzle are actually coming together for the divine feminine. She's very, I get this energy that the divine feminine is very, very clear and has an extreme amount of clarity about what is needing to be implemented in her life at this point in time. But I do, just out of for my own curiosity, for the remembrance card, it says, whilst it is a tradition to carve a jack-o'-lantern to scare away spirits, it's an older tradition to still light a candle or a lamp at night and leave it in the window as a guide home for those, or for energies that need to be passed on. Okay, so this might be about maybe needing to do some candle magic to kind of release some cords of energy at this point in time. Maybe not cut cords, but like kind of like leaving the light on, you know what I'm saying? Like leaving a light on hope, you know? This could also be about energies that are passing away right now, you know, like we're leaving the light on for those souls that are being called to um, the next dimension right now because of the coronavirus, or because of natural death, or because of whatever may be befalling all of the people that are being lost in the cycle right now of life. It's kind of like another way to remember the it's paying homage to not only the casualties of whatever is happening in this world, and I say that with all due respect, because I do not want to speak propaganda whatsoever. I have my own sense of beliefs about what I think is happening in the world right now, and I do know that there is this energy where we all know that to some degree we are being lied to. We just don't, you know, we just I'd prefer not to just put it out there, but we all know that there are things that are happening that don't make sense, you know. So I'll just leave it at that. But the divine feminines are in this energy of remembering and giving and paying homage to the ones that are being called to spirit right now and being called across the veil. So it's traditional, you know, sometimes when we lose people, to light a candle and say a prayer for their soul to cross to the other side in peace. So it would be a good idea for us to pull together probably at this time and light some candles for the ones in earth that we should pay homage to for the celebration of their lives while they had life here. So um the divine feminine, you know, is definitely processing through this world sadness at the moment. It's definitely reminding her that there are positive things to remember, you know, and there are also positive things that should be celebrated in life right now rather than mourning the deaths that are happening at this time as well. So it's important that even though we pay homage and respect to those that are being lost right now, whether they are natural deaths or whether they are from COVID-19 or 5G radiation, I'll just say that. So for those people that are suffering, you know, at this point in time, you know, it is a reminder for us, not just from the great divine masculine, you know, that's here to teach us all, and from the great divine feminine that are here to teach us all, but this is a lesson of, you know, this is an understanding that this is a part of the natural cycle of life. This is a part of natural selection as well. So this virus isn't just going to target one person or another. If this really is 5D radiation, you know, or 5G radiation, I I keep trying to not get that mixed up, because there is a whole difference between 5D energies and 5G radiation or energy exchanges, whatever the fuck it is. I'll just put it like that. So anyway, all of that propaganda, all propaganda aside, this is the naked truth of it. The naked truth of it is that it's a positive thing to remember those who have passed by celebrating their lives rather than mourning their deaths, but to remember for those whom we did not have an easy relationship with, or those that we didn't even like. All of this is about leaving us with valuable lessons at the moment. So we learn from our nemesis, and we learn from our friends, and we learn so that the darkness can illuminate our strengths and our true values, so that we can live in them more clearly and more fully. Okay, now that makes a hell of a lot more sense. And that definitely beats it to the punch of what exactly I was trying to fucking say. So thank you, Spirit. Thank you so much for having my back there. Anyway, so we also have the witch energy, which I'm going to go ahead and read that card too, since it's the last one. And then we'll get to the... I'm going to get to the really heart of the... Let's start clarifying some of these cards right here in just a second. But anyway, we have the Earthly Weaver of Worlds. I don't know why they didn't make me read this out in the Divine Masculine read, but obviously there's a reason for everything, so I'm going to read it out here. It says, Earth, air, fire, water, a woman lovely, a woman strange, the weaver of the worlds, the moon's daughter, the witch, the catalyst for change. So it's funny that they say the Divine Feminine's energy is the catalyst of change. But this is where it meets that Divine Masculine energy as well. Tina, I definitely do believe it is a cover-up, but, we're not going to speculate. I'm just going to continue to radiate good vibes to the entirety of the collective, because if we just stand in our power and stand in our sovereignty at this point in time, which is what the Emperor card is really about, the Divine Feminine knows that it's time to stand in her sovereignty. So does the Divine Masculine. The Divine Masculine also knows very well it's time for him to stand in his sovereignty. And we know at this point in time, as twin flames or divine souls, okay, this is for twin flames and for divine souls all together, okay? Twin flames and divine souls alike, it doesn't matter. The reason why I say twin flames and divine souls is because twin flames definitely do have a split soul, where there is another actual half of their soul out there walking around in another human being. That's what twin flames are. But divine souls are definitely a part of that same collective, where we all do work together as light workers, as light beings, as sovereign beings with spirit, to definitely lift the vibration of the planet. So there is that place and play where, we're having to all stand in our originality as healers. And for the Divine Feminine, this is about witches having had a bad PR for the last couple of millennia. Okay. Originally, the healers or cunning women of the village, the very word witch comes from the Celtic word wicke, means weaver or wise. When the new religion of Christianity spread through the land, and custodians of the old pagan ways impart, witches were labeled as evil and, we know from history, persecuted. They were driven underground or under the night sky into the shadows of misunderstanding and darkness. So, in great retrospect, this is what the Divine Masculine was actually using his discernment from as well. Divine Masculines have felt this persecution too, and they just express it differently. But for us, we remember those witch burnings that we experienced in past lives, most definitely. Woo! We definitely experienced the burn on that ass, for sure, okay? But some of that might actually be resurfacing now. Now that we have the propaganda threat of New World Order, et cetera, the Divine Feminine's thinking very much so that we've seen these kinds of situations repeat themselves in history. And we know what the fuck to do in these times. We do. Only this time Spirit's telling us to remember that illumination of the ones that were lost, because it's not time to hide in the shadows anymore. We've hidden in the shadows for the last couple of millennia. And so Divine Feminines are really getting that call from Divine right now to stand in their power and stand in their sovereignty as the Emperor. This is why the divine masculine energy is here with us right now, pushing us forward as the magicians to utilize our skills of magic and healing. Oh, yes. Using our powers of magic and healing to weave our own worlds and change throughout our lives and bring about that magic that is afoot. It's about power understanding, divine feminine. It's about understanding power. Holding the witch cards means that you must understand that you have the power and it is real. It may also indicate that others may be threatened by your developing personal power and they may not appreciate or like it. And the changes as you grow, but you are still a sovereign being. So be prepared for this and do not be discouraged. New friends will be better. There will be better opportunities, and better opportunities will be attracted to you just for standing in your power. So that's pretty powerful. Right now, this is what the divine feminines are kind of purging at the moment, is that the past fear, the matriarchal fear of being that witch, the weaver, or the wise one who caught a bad rep, and having to stand in your power now in a day and time and age where everything that you know and everything that you once knew not only needs to be cleared out, because it is where we've been stuck in that blind spot, but where we are now illuminated to move forward, where we are now governed and guided to move out of this energy and rise from the ashes, to pay homage to what was lost, the many lives, maybe the many lifetimes that were spent here in loss and lack and suffering. And it is time to weave a new world, divine feminines. Are you ready? Are you ready? So, Louise, grab us a spot of tea and let's get into this reading and find out what's going on here. More clarified synchronicities, all right? More clarified synchronicities within blind spots. This is the divine feminine using her intuition, the synchronicities that she is getting in the 3D world to help guide her and move her out of these blind spots, using her intuition to get very grounded and moving forward. She is working on her inner issues. This is another portal of initiation, I do believe, and rising from the ashes. She's been working very hard on her inner issues quite some time. You're my other half. At this time, if you want to put the divine masculine into retrospect here into this reading, she is very much contemplating the remembrance of her divine masculine. Not only in this lifetime, but I also believe that a lot of past life energies are coming up as well. Like, a lot of past life energies are going to continually come up for the divine masculine and the divine feminines. Okay? Because a lot of these past life integrations and all these integration clearings are what's really, really important right now on this journey. Okay? So it's about integrating those light codes that you've received through multiple lifetimes here, divine feminine. And you're also feeling that coming from the divine masculine collective. So that's why you're feeling, for those of you guys that are twin flames, that's why you're feeling your divine masculine energy extremely heavy at this point in time. So it's funny that you have the covenant card coming up for the divine feminine in the earthly weaver of world energy. The world that the divine feminine will now move forward and create through her remembrance of this yin yang energy, or the balance in the cycles of life. This isn't just about This is not just about twin flame energy. So if you're looking at this from a singular perspective where one singular person is integrating divine masculine and divine feminine energy, it is also about the fact that within the divine feminine right now, the divine masculine, the divine feminine within the divine feminine is now integrating as a whole. It is now functioning as a whole being in unison, which means that the divine feminines that I am reading for this energy tonight in the Naked Truth, these are for the women that have integrated their inner masculine and their inner feminine together and have healed that distorted aspect within themselves. Okay. But this is the remembrance of how this divine feminine got here to this place of wholeness, the journey. She's looking back on her journey and how she got here and how she made it and how she made it through this integration and how she is now standing as one whole sovereign being. So for the divine feminine, this is a very nostalgic time, especially reflecting back on her journey and the inner wisdom that she has gained from her life experience on this integration period in transit. Okay, so this is why this energy here is coming up with the covenant. So you have this earthly weaver of souls energy, and then you have the covenant where she's actually remembering her soul contract. She's actually remembering her soul contract with spirit. She's also aligning with her soul contract with spirit because she's now a whole and sovereign being. She knows where she's going. She knows what she wants to manifest. And so she is living and breathing that covenant, which is the divine feminine being in total alignment with her Christ consciousness, with her higher self. She's now gone through this portal of initiation through working on her own inner issues and integrating the halves of masculine and feminine sides within her own sovereign being. It is giving her this emperor push forward into truly honoring the covenant that she has between herself and spirit and understanding and understanding the lessons in the journey. This is part of her soul contract. Okay. So, anyways, let's jump into the tarot aspect of this. I'm ready to get some more clarification to what is really going on in this moment in time. How is this divine? How are the divine feminines? How are the divine feminines integrating this knowledge with the synchronicities now? I am using the Witch's Tarot, the triple goddess energy, the mother of the maiden, and the crone. Okay, so the synchronicities that the divine feminine have been, experiencing have not only been emotional, but this is about the divine feminine walking away from the emotions on a lower vibration that no longer serve her anymore. And the synchronicities have actually been helping her integrate all of these lessons from the past, the energy and understandings, what this blind spot card was all about. When it really talked about what in the world did I miss here? Okay. Sorry, guys. So, anyways, this is about walking away from anything that has caused her grief or trouble and any repeated patterns of pain that have resurfaced over and over again. So, these have been the hardcore lessons that the divine feminine has really had to experience on this journey of awakening and ascension into her own Christ consciousness, into finding herself, and to meeting her highest self. And so this is about, this could also be about ascension symptoms. Ascension symptoms have been really happening as well. So this is about making peace and breaking the patterns of the repetitive shit that is no longer serving, So these were things that might have caught the blind, that have caught the divine feminine in her blind spots in the past, because she might not have been trusting her intuition, so that's where her lessons came really hard. So that is what the divine feminine is really transmuting through the synchronicities, that she's getting from the divine at this moment. Okay, this is also about taking the blinders off. This is about trusting her intuition to also move forward as well with the synchronicities that she has been given. So the Two of Swords is about success and truth, awareness, victory, determination, taking action, getting a clear perception, and leading, having a closer connection to spirit and to deities, or to the element of air, which is, about intuition. So I don't know. It's crazy as fuck. What I see when I see this card, I see Electra. She's got two swords instead of her two sides, but whatever. Looks like Jennifer Garner. Like, no lie. Anyway, so making the decisions about her moving forward, I feel like, I don't know, I see Electra there, and so I automatically get that energy where divine feminine's kicking ass, but she's walking away from energies, okay, that in the past kind of blinded her, where she blocked off her heart, she blocked off her emotions, she was holding in her feelings, and at maybe some point in time, she was refusing to see what was right in front of her. This is energy that she was facing in the past. But this is also part of the lesson, that the divine feminine has had to learn in this emotional energy, where she's felt like she's had to walk away from those things that broke her heart, and so it put her heart and mind at a serious disagreement, and it presented some unhealthy boundaries. So this is about the divine feminine having to learn the lesson of upholding her true feelings and working toward balance between her heart and her mind, and considering all of her options and what her options really are. So having boundaries and establishing boundaries that are a positive thing, it just ensures that this is the lesson, that she's ensured how to establish positive boundaries between herself and other people, without cutting people completely off, and not shutting herself off from other people. There is that energy where it's okay to walk away, but you have to truly trust your discernment, as to whether you cut them off or whether it's, something that can be worked on eventually. You just need some time and space. But this is also about using that energy to be calm and reflect while working through, so that things can come into balance and understanding. So this has been a huge part of the lesson of the divine feminine, and very, very mind-blowing. Very, very mind-blowing. So I love to do these reads because that's what we need on this journey. We don't need things to be sugar-coated for us, I know as a divine feminine myself, the most frustrating thing is not being able to take the blinders off in order to see what it is that my higher self wants me to see, instead of trying to hold on to those energies of what don't serve me anymore, because I'm stuck in my heart space, or I'm stuck in my head space too much, It's kind of like that energy of, I think it was this card here where it says, you have to trust. You have to trust in what is happening, don't overthink it. Just, allow things to go with the flow. That's part of the energy of creating in the now, is letting go of the control aspects of things. And while we both, both masculine and feminine energies right now are being, feminines are being warned about that energy of deception, where we don't deceive ourselves anymore, not allowing those patterns to repeat themselves, but establishing healthy boundaries so that those patterns don't repeat themselves anymore. Getting to that place of understanding to be able to open up our heart space again, you know, because it's kind of like that one song. Who the fuck were those guys where they said, I get knocked down, but I get up again. No, you're never going to keep me down. You know, that's kind of like the Divine Feminine's fucking anthem. That's, even though they're masculine singing that song, and for the life of me, I cannot remember who that band is, man. I used to listen to that shit back in the 90s. It was crazy, but it's like, that's like the Divine Feminine's anthem. Like, I know as a Leo, you know, here we do have Father Lion out here, you know, representing, you know, the Leos out there. Is that we get fucking knocked down again, but the lesson is to get the fuck back up and keep going. You know, there's more to learn. It's not the end of the road. And then now I hear Boys to Men singing in my head. Who the fuck was that? What is that song? It's the end of the road. Oh, it's just a love song. I can't even think about it. They're, I don't know. My spirit guides are being fucking weird, guys. They keep like singing just little bits and pieces of random different fucking songs. And it's like, I don't know. It's like Bumblebee is talking to me right now. You know how he does. He'll go from one movie clip to another movie song or some shit like that. Like he just speaks in like, I don't know, like music and movie riddles. But that's what the angels are doing to me right now. I don't know. It's kind of hilarious. But anyway. So this card came out, and this is the Eight of Pentacles. This is about the Divine Feminine, literally in the 3D, working on her inner issues and rising above the ashes. Like, this is literally the Divine Feminine working on herself, okay? So she's not bullshitting right now. She's literally trying to gain some knowledge and work through the mysteries of the now. She's going within, understanding the lessons that she learned as the maiden, the lessons that she learned as the mother, and the lessons that she is now learning as the crone. Okay? The mother, the maiden, and the crone. Tina, we probably do. If your spirit guides be doing that shit to you, we probably have the same spirit guides. Oh, the angels, though, are all of our spirit guides in a sense, to be honest. And they really get funny when it comes to these song mashups. They really like song mashups. That's a thing on the other side, for sure. So anyway, what the Divine Feminine is working on with the Eight of Pentacles and the moon energy here is the moon card here is a little bit different. So I'm going to go ahead and read it. This is about the goddess Hecate. So Hecate the crone stands at the funky crossroads. She holds a torch aloft. Her silver hair flows on a breeze around her throat as she wears Hecate's wheel pendant. At her waist, 3 skeleton keys and a pentagram. Hecate Trivia, the goddess of 3 ways, or the goddess of the crossroads, held sway over the earth, the sky, and the sea. She could appear in a number of guises, as a beautiful maiden, a matron, or as a crone and the guide. She is depicted here as a crone. This is a woman of power, a woman who has acquired great knowledge in her lifetime, who walks with wisdom and who wears her years beautifully. Hecate's trio of companion wolves represent the wiser aspect of ourselves and the wilder aspect of ourselves. Hecate always accompanied by canines, both wild and domestic. The 2 willow trees in the background are sacred to Hecate. The willow corresponds to both element of water and with lunar magic. Hecate shows us that there's more to be seen than would be first imagined, and as a crone who is beautiful instead of the haggard wizened, magic is everywhere, even in the most unsuspecting of places. And looking carefully now, what will Hecate in the light of the moon reveal to you? So, full moon energy coming out tomorrow, guys. Separate read, by the way. I will go live here on YouTube tomorrow for the full moon reads, which will be general, collective, masculine and feminine together. So we'll see how this is affecting everyone together. But anyway, moving on. This card is the Crone Goddess, the waning moon magic, intuition, and illusions. It may also represent a development of psychic powers also. Yeah, another thing, ladies, if you guys are getting intuitive psychic downloads, or you're feeling like your powers are ascending and your powers are getting stronger, that's because they are. With every moon cycle, these implemented changes of awakening, guys, here on Earth for us human beings at the moment are coming with the moon cycles. And the more that we go through the moon cycle phases, the stronger that they get. Okay, so some people in situations are not always as this appear. So when this card comes out in the reading, the moonlight could be deceptive. So this is what the divine feminines need to be aware of right now, is that deceptive energy. The deceptive energy that the divine masculine right now is already scoping out. Now, let me tell you something about divine masculines. Usually the divine masculine can scope out deception usually before the divine feminine can. Okay? And this is where I just have to keep it real with you guys. This is where I said in the first reading of the divine masculines naked truth, the masculines are fucking awake. All right? And so sometimes when the divine feminine gets really stuck in her energy of intuition, this is where illusion and blind spots can really come into play for the divine feminine. This is where the divine masculine can see through that shit. Okay? So if you do have a masculine around you that is pretty fucking intuitive and he's like spouting off the mouth like, hey, this is really going on, you should trust what your masculine is saying right now, or what the masculine voices are saying around you, because they can smell right through the bullshit while you're sitting there having to sort through the illusions still. So this is at that point in time where this is a message to the divine feminines that if you have awakened masculines around you and they're scoping through some truth bullshit and you're still having trouble discerning what is truth and what isn't, I would suggest you really open up that third eye space, call in Mother Hecate, and allow that magical being to come in and give you some wisdom about certain things, because this is where the divine masculine is actually quite a bit more awake than the divine feminine. It's not a race of who is more awake. It's just the fact that when in the mirrored energy, when the divine feminine is being warned against falling for the deceptive shit, this is where the divine masculine usually has no problem stepping up and saying, hey, divine feminine, I think you need to see and look a little bit closer, because this is where you need to remove your illusion energy. Okay, and then at the bottom of the deck here, we have this illusion energy here, can be represented as, here's Merlin, okay, as they would refer to the magician, which is Merlin. But Merlin is also a very powerful being who can help you see through illusions, which is the divine masculine, guys. The divine masculine can see through illusions where the divine feminine cannot. Okay, so this is where we need to trust divine masculine instincts. Not only within the divine masculine collective, but within that inner divine masculine within ourselves. Okay, this is where that divine masculine energy is really at play and at work within us, divine feminines. Okay, so that was just a really quick message from Spirit, just to give you a little bit more clarification on how to help yourself, discern through certain shit right now. So if you're listening to masculine voices around you, discerning through the bullshit where you're having a hard time, and this could be about worldly happenings right now. The divine masculines aren't stupid to what's going on, and neither are we, but they can see a little bit deeper to the heart of things where we can't, because we're still emotional. They're thinking more from their intellectual space, where we're thinking more from our heart space. Okay, so this is what happens. All right, and anyway, I'm going to go back to this energy here. So we need to look carefully at what we think we see. Call upon our spirit guides, totems, and maybe to Hecate to see past the fog with Hecate now to see through any illusions, and ask for the gifts of foresight, wisdom, and protection now at this time. So the keywords of this card, of the moon card, the crone aspect of the goddess is waning moon magic, protection magic, seeing through what others would keep hidden, intuition and the development of psychic powers, wisdom gained through years of life experiences. So this is also about what the divine feminine is gaining on her inner journey through the life experiences that she's had. But this is also pertaining to the collective energy right now in the present as well. So a lot of things happening for the divine feminine at this particular time, a lot of illusions being worked through, a lot of, self-introspection as well. A lot of, okay, well, in the energy, well, the divine feminine is basically, working on herself, but she's working on herself from the aspect of what she's lost and how she's gained, considering what she's learned and how she's growing within herself. So that's really positive energy, guys. And for those of you that are on this journey and you're doing work, well done. Well done. All right, Spirit. So give me some clarification for us about what this energy is with. Okay. There's a little bit more of a message here. Okay, so the Hermit card just came out. I believe that's confirmation to what the divine feminine, she's been in this hermit mode energy. This is what she's been contemplating here, but I really feel that the hermit is coming out just as confirmation to the mother goddess and to the crown energy, the wise, the wisdom energy. The wisdom that's that's being downloaded here is basically just saying in confirmation, that it's time for the divine feminine to really pay attention to the knowledge that she's gained, go within, and truly use her own discernment right now to protect herself, because the hermit is a protector energy. And so really take some extra caution right now, divine feminines, to protect yourself from lower level energies, okay? Because there is a battle that is happening. There's a battle that's happening spiritually, right now. Like we see this is confirmation. This is just going this is like death and rebirth. This is a spiritual battle here about death and rebirth and cycles, and staying grounded in it. Okay. Staying grounded, staying whole within that Five of Swords. Is this Five of Swords? No, that's Five of Wands. Okay. Quick. Just 1 second. What's being reborn in the divine feminine right now, with her coming into a sense of wholeness, is the fact that, all the petty shit in the world right now needs to die. That's where the divine feminine's really at in her energy. She's really not liking the fact that the world is kind of showing it's in this evil kind of shit, that people are capable of right now. It's really got divine feminine upset in her heart space and in her head space. And this is what the divine feminine feels like needs to change about the world, because otherwise all of these people that are being lost in the sauce right now to this death infernal energy, or, being taken to the other side, to other, so many people dying right now. I think that's also the divine feminine energy saying that, there are so many difference of opinions wanting to be heard in the world right now, that the bickering between mates and friends and coworkers is really starting to get on the divine feminine's nerves. And to be very clear in communicating her goals and desires right now, she does not want to communicate her desires from a petty fashion. This is what she's hoping is changing right now in the world. So she's having to put her game face on and struggle. She's trying to struggle, right? She's kind of struggling to see positive results right now based on the petty behaviors that she's witnessing in the human collective at this point in time. So this is also what divine masculine, the great father, is helping the divine feminine to work on right now, because the divine feminine needs to work on having patience with the collective at the moment. That was just a message from spirit really quickly. So this is about competition, conflicts, and death to the old, death to the conflicts, putting her problem solving to use, okay, to get positive results. So this is what the divine feminine is really hoping to see within the world collective at the moment, because the divine feminine is working really hard to stable herself in the 3D right now. Okay, so A lot of rebirth energy. There's a possibility that I'm seeing. What is this? I want to read it. Hold on. Death energy. Of course, death is scorpionic energy. Could be why scorpionic energy was coming out in the last read for the divine masculine. The scorpionic energy of Cancer the emotional energies of Scorpio. So in order for something new to grow, something old has to give way. So, oh wow, this card often shows up in readings for pregnant women, which makes sense because think about it, their way of life is about to change forever. Their lives are about to transform into something else new and exciting. This card also symbolizes other important endings and beginnings in your life: birth, marriage, new jobs, leaving for college, moving. Basically, one way of life is gone, and it's allowing room for new beginnings and new opportunities to emerge. This is about transformation, change, endings, beginnings, the cycle of nature and life. So, holy shit. Okay, so I'm going to have to tell you guys about my dream. I started to mention some of it. I mentioned the aspects of the divine masculine, the 3 aspects of the divine masculine, but let me talk about the fact that in this dream I had a baby. First of all, those of you that personally know me know that I have 3 children of my own. I'm raising my niece, but in no way, shape, or form could I have kids at this point in time because I had my tubes tied 13 years ago after I had my youngest son. So in reality, no, I probably cannot have children unless it's by divine miracle. Okay. At the same time, I'd also have to be in union with somebody for that to divinely take place. So in a metaphorical way, it was me giving birth. I gave birth in this dream, which means there are new beginnings coming for the divine feminine. And I feel like this was a collective energy. This was not just for myself. So I knew immediately that when I woke up, I had to take this dream straight to analyzation because I knew that this was a collective energy and I needed confirmation. So I took it to a friend of mine who I trust, who is one of my trusted advisors. This woman also helps me work on my human design chart as well, which has heavily and tremendously been helping me on my journey, especially in the last month. But I took this dream to her this morning and she said, Brady, I really think this is for the collective. And I said, I think you're right. And so this makes a whole lot of sense as to why these cards are actually falling the way that they are now. And that just gives me more confirmation. So with the Queen of Pentacles being here on top of that, this is definitely another representation. This is one of the variations of the Empress energy. And the Empress energy came out in the Divine Masculine read. So this is about transformation. Pluto. It's funny because Pluto is one of the houses that my human design chart is working in right now to help me master some of the shit that I'm mastering on my life purpose at this point in time. So this may resonate with a lot of you divine feminines as well. Yeah. So we're going to find out what this Queen of Pentacles means. I just want to get some reference points here from the card. I'm not going to go into deep. I'm not going to read the whole damn thing. So this is about emotional fulfillment, nature lovers, earth mama, devoted life, partner, hearth and home, motherhood. So the message of the Queen of Pentacles is to embrace the love of beautiful things in this world and create a beautiful and magical atmosphere for yourself and for your loved ones. So this is what that birth energy was all about, giving birth to that new energy of giving yourself and your loved ones around you that energy to create the life that you've always desired. I'm going to read that again. Embrace the love of beautiful things in this world, divine feminine. Create a beautiful and magical atmosphere for yourself and for your loved ones. Like I said, I did say it. The Queen of Pentacles is often linked to the Empress card, and if they should both turn up in a reading, motherhood is a prime focus. So the Queen of Pentacles, this could also be about nurturing something that you love, meaning an idea as well. It does not just pertain to children, and it does not just pertain to mothering children. This also pertains to the birth of ideas as well, Divine Feminines. So this energy is really, really potent for birthing new life into this world, not just literal new life, but breathing life into your projects and whatever it is that you are doing to move forward at this point in time. Because while the world is at a standstill, you do not have to be. So what Spirit is saying, Divine Feminine, keep moving and don't allow the deceptions to sway you from your path. Don't allow the deceptions of the world right now to stop you from creating and manifesting at this point in time, because the most important part of manifesting is in the now. So if you are standing still, it means that what you're creating for the future for yourself is standing still, and you don't want that regardless. So keep moving forward, keep pushing, and don't stop manifesting. If you guys have spiritual or healing gifts at this time, now would be a good time to birth those projects into the world. Holistic health, medicine, anything. I don't know why, but they told me to shuffle those cards. It's funny because now at the end you have the sun, which is illumination energy. This is also masculine energy. Aries, Sagittarius, Leo energy. Mostly Leo energy. And Sagittarius. So, in finality, what we have here to clarify for the covenants and this witchy poo energy that allows you to create a new Weaver of Worlds, this Weaver of Worlds energy with the covenant. Spirit, tell us a little bit about that. Tell us a little bit about the covenant for the Divine Feminine. All right, Six of Cups. This means working from your inner child, guys. Tapping into that inner child, opening up that heart chakra, and remembering the good things about your childhood, the vivid imaginations that you used to have, and creating from that energy. The covenant that you have with Spirit is kind of childlike in nature as well. So when you're manifesting from a childlike perspective, you're creating a vortex of love. And the reason why they say vortex of love is because you are creating a new world for yourself in this energy of love, guys. This is the Three of Pentacles. This is the foundations of building material, the unconditional law of love, and working from the spirit of your own child, inner child, is what brings these manifestations down from the 5D to the 3D, guys. From a spiritual aspect to a material aspect. Harnessing that energy of the divine child within you. Underneath that, you have the Hanged Man. This is about gaining a new perspective, guys. The Hanged Man card is about gaining a new perspective about the ups and downs and the throes of life. The ending cycles and the new beginning cycles. Gaining a new perception. And this is also one of Odin's ravens, giving the Divine Feminine a new beginning. And this is the Ace of Pentacles here. See? Odin is handing down to the Divine Feminine an opportunity for new beginnings, in new introspection, and in new perceptions. This is about holy harnessing. Holy shit. This is about wholly harnessing that energy of the Ace of Wands, the spark of new beginnings, the spark of creation, the spark of passions, whether it be in creation, art, love, dance, whatever it is, Divine Feminines, that fucking pulls at your heartstrings in a good way. This is also about coming into union with the self. And the Lover's card has come out for both the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine tonight. Everything is mirroring each other. So the Divine Feminine is gaining introspection right now in order to build this new beginning for herself. Now she knows what tools she needs to continue forward to honor her covenant with not only her own soul contract with spirit, but her own soul mission here on earth is to rebuild from the ashes from her inner child. And gaining this new introspection here is the key to her new beginnings. And here the god Odin is handing her every tool that she needs to integrate love, to manifest love, new beginnings, and the truth. King of Swords. Okay, so he is that final. So I'm going to get with that here in a minute. So we know what the Hanged Man means. I told you guys what that means. So we have the Lover's card with the Ace of Wands here. The Lovers in this card deck has a very beautiful meaning. And so in that finality, I can therefore explain to you what the King of Swords means right along with the Ace of Wands. So after, let's see, the Lovers. It's about sexual love, beauty, or a romantic relationship, about decisions and commitment. Choices are to be made. The choice you make now will affect your future because love heals. Okay, so the Lovers is a card of relationships and choices. This card illustrates the power of love, desire, destiny, and romance and attraction. It celebrates challenges overcome so that two lovers can be together. The angel in this major arcana card may be thought of as a matchmaker, but she also may be a protective force for the couple. The angel is a symbol of destiny, and she is here to show us how every choice can make an effect on our future. She also reminds us to choose wisely, guys. So that was also a message of choosing wisely because there are a lot of temptations in the world. But at the same time, this is about sexual love and desire. And if you guys are really trying to bring in your divine masculines, the choices that you affect now will affect your future. The choices that you make now will affect your future. So if you're choosing to move from a place of love, they're saying that love heals. And this is about the energy of Eros and Psyche, which is Isis and Osiris, the great divine lovers, the great twins. And the astrological association to this card is actually Gemini. So this is about the twins coming together in union. Finally, it's up to the divine feminine if she wants to manifest this or not. This is also part of her choices. This is also divine saying that if you truly want to be rewarded for all of the hard work that you've done, just call it in, call in those desires and call in what you want because you've done the work. This is about giving birth to new things. So clear out that old energy of love and what you think it means and all your fears of it, and then allow true love to actually come in. Divine feminines, open up your heart chakra. There's a lot of green energy here saying that you need to really open up that heart chakra, creating anew. Create from the inner mind of a child, and anything that you create, you can create, and you can. So it's pretty potent. So the last card that I'm going to read to you is the King of Swords, because I believe that masculine energy has the final say so here in this card reading. The Knight of Swords. He is about truth. Like the King of Swords, he's all about truth. It's all about truth. Intellectual stimulation. There he is. King of Swords. An authority, a fair leader, judgment is here. This is also about judgment and justice, reason, logic, truth, ethics, honor, swiftly turning knowledge into action. So it's time to take action, divine feminines. When this card swords into a reading, it's to be aware that your actions may be called into question. So think about it, guys. This card is for the rulers and the leaders and the wielders of justice. The King of Swords has links to the Emperor and the Justice cards. As the King of Swords confirms or concerns himself with the matters of right and wrong and also personal integrity and honor. So this card is quietly calling into question the wisdom of your personal choices as he announced that it's time to turn your knowledge into action. So divine feminines, the knowledge that you've gained on your life lessons here, it's time to turn your knowledge into some kind of an action where you're representing, your own maturity and your own values and integrity, and you're actually exacting that upon the world, you know, acting from integrity, being wise and fair, and being a leader who not only just sits in judgment, but must too be fair and just. So, in order to defend this kingdom, the situation must be deemed necessary to find balance. The lesson of the King of Swords is to turn your knowledge into action while remaining fair and just. So, remember, Divine Feminines, while using your discernment now in the world, make sure that you're fair and just, you know, like don't go cutting cords that don't need to be cut. Okay. That's the first thing that my spirit guides want to tell you is unless you really truly feel like the cord must be you must cut cords or cut your energy from someone, be aware that cutting your energy from certain people has consequences. Okay. So while some of you guys might be feeling the weight of this journey and not being in divine union with your masculine at this particular time, is to don't let some of this energy fool you, because union can and is possible in all of the transformations that are taking place, and all you have to do is manifest it from a childlike perspective and keep your heart space open, because the lessons that you've learned in the past have actually, you know, brought you to this heart space where, you know, in the past you've closed yourself off, but now it's time to open and let some of these things that are good for you and that you deserve actually come in for you without you energetically blocking them for once. You know, the Knight of Cups is trying to come in. So the Divine Feminine really needs to open up her heart space at this point in time and trust in the divine. Okay, so I'm going to pull a Moonology card for the Divine Feminine. And then I'm going to get an Isis Oracle for you guys too. And we're going to end this reading on a good positive note. Yeah. Okay, so Spirit, give us one final message from the energies of the moon. Oh, okay, so they shot 2 cards out at me. Overall energy is adjustments are required, Divine Feminine. In order to bring in what it is you're trying to manifest, some adjustments are needing to be made. It's time to work through your fears. So we have another mirrored image coming through from the Divine Masculine read into the Divine Feminines. We have don't let pride get in your way. So that's a heavy Leo energy there. Okay, this is about kind of working through those fears and the battles of the ego here. Don't fear what's to come. You know, all you need is a practical plan, a practical plan to ground out your manifestations. So being prideful in a way can say, well, I'm never going to have this, or, you know, watch what you say, guys. So if you're being really hard on your manifestation process right now, it's really your ego coming out of fear. That's pretty much what the pride energy to me is about. So this might be coming out in some of this full moon energy tomorrow, or, you know, tonight. Some people are already feeling the effects of the full moon anyway, but your dreams need a practical plan. So the Taurus energy that is coming in for you guys pretty soon is going to help put some grounding energy to your plans and help you get a little bit more practical about what it is that you want to manifest. But all you got to do really is work through that energy of fear that you feel, you know, coming from your ego right now, because your ego would naturally try to tell you that, well, this is scary, I don't want to do this, I don't know what to do. You know, that's that energy of discernment that you're going to have to really work through at this point in time, and why you should not be dissuaded or you know, don't let those certain energies come in and fuck you up, you know, and tell you that you can't manifest something, because that's just the darkness trying to, you know, the darker, lower level energies trying to come in and, you know, kind of thwart you off of your energy, or, you know, try to fuck you up right now. Because like I said, you know, the higher you guys try to ascend and the more you guys try to elevate your consciousness, you know, the more you guys are going to have to fight off lower level energies. So you're going to have to make some adjustments there and understand that, you know, just got to keep keep on keeping on, like Joe Dirt would say. Let me see if I can get some energy for, or some your dreams. Need a practical plan here. So chasing money doesn't work. You need to chase your dreams, not the money. Jealousy or envy can create negative energy and attract negativity. So more exercise is called for. So write down 10 things that you know are wonderful about yourself right now. Or write down 10 things that you know that you want to manifest at this particular time, and work on achieving your dreams, work on achieving those goals. If you're asking about money, this card holds a change of financial fortunes depending on both your past actions and what you're expecting. So for some divine feminines, for those of you that think your situation is never going to change, that's your ego talking. And you need to get more practical about what you're trying to manifest. If you've been moving from a place of integrity, you've got a lot of good karma coming for you. It means that a lot of your financial situation is about to change if this is about financial things for you. If it is about love or anything else, it's about, getting off your ass and kind of going and getting after it, what it is that you want to bring into your world. What do you want to create? So it's time to weave a bit of magic, and sometimes you need to be practical. Sometimes you need to find a combination of practicality and magic. So this card suggests that this is where you're at now, but you need to use the laws of attraction to draw in what you want by imagining it, expecting it, welcoming it, but balance that with taking down to earth steps toward your goals. This isn't about wishing on the moon and hoping for the best. This is about making a list of bullet points about how to achieve your dreams. So the full moon in Taurus is about to get time. It's about time to get back to earth, get grounded, to work through any negative feelings you've been dealing with. Find a balance between the passionate and being overly intense. So money issues, if money issues are coming to a head, then you can take this card as a sign to pay more attention to your cash flow, no matter when you draw this card. So this could be about the material world, what's going on in the material world and how you need a practical plan to be a part of the change, and not be a part of the problem. We all look for solutions. But a lot of us, that's what we're doing, as divine feminines. It's like, how do we be a part of the change? How are we going to be a positive part of this change? And so a lot of us are actually working on things like that. So with the adjustments required, I'm going to see if I can find this card here right quick. I'm going to touch on it. Third quarter moon. I really heavily wish these cards were numbered. Third quarter of the moon, third quarter of the moon. Maybe I'll find it here. Hold on. So it's on page 36. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, it's good to know now after all this time. Okay, so the adjustments that need to be made, think of yourself as a vessel that has been filled more and more over the past few weeks. Some of what has come your way may have been wonderful, but there's also a lot of negativity that you need to let go. Whatever situation you're asking about now, be honest about whether there are toxic emotions involved or whether you need to release them to the ethers. This card also comes with the promise. This card also comes with the promise that all is not lost. However, there are changes or adjustments required before you'll get to where you want to be. A change of course is in the forecast now that recent events have understood and acted upon. There may also be a crisis now, which reminds you that what you want and what it's time to let go of. So pay attention. So yeah, with this pandemic and the crisis that's going on in the world right now, that's definitely what is happening within the divine feminine energies right now, working with both the divine feminine and the divine masculine at this point in time. So your life may be out of balance because of what's going on around you and what's helping cause these issues for you. But it may be a time to plan to hatch a whole new plan. Something new and exciting is around the corner. Trust may be required to move the situation forward. So we know where we've been, but do we know where we're going? That's the question. Is now that the moon is almost full, it is time to see what comes out into the surface. And I'm going to say this, it says third quarter moon, but I'm referring to full moon energy here because that's what we're upon in reality at the moment. It's a time to reevaluate and allow what needs to fall away, fall away. No matter when you draw this card, the teaching is to release some shit and to trust in the universe. Okay? And that's my words, not my spirit guides. And not the meaning of that card, but that's just how I chose to wear it, guys, because it just seemed appropriate. So anyway, I am going to pull a message from the, I'm going to be fair here, and I'm going to give the Divine Masculines a message from the Divine Feminines right now, in case the Divine Masculines are watching, creeping on the Divine Feminine, like sometimes they do. It's okay. It's all good. We love you guys. So anyway, what Divine Feminines, great Divine Feminine, of all, what do you want your Divine Masculine out there to know that may be watching this video? Divine Feminine, what would you like your Divine Masculine out there to know? So in this card deck, we have the 8 of Cups, which is about the magic of something. We have the Fool, the Ace of Pentacles, and we also have the Chariot in overall energy. So give me a second, guys. I'm going to read the Chariot energy first, and then I'm going to read the Fool energy. The Chariot is about conquest. To conquer the rival, you must change tactics and perspectives, Divine Feminine. Fake a retreat and then stage a forceful surprise attack, which means conquest. This is about moving towards a conquest. Divine Masculines, I think this is a message from the Divine Feminine saying that it's okay and it's safe for you to move forward. And if you can't right now, we understand, okay, Divine Masculines, that you must move through some obstacles and conquer some of your rivals in order to get to us. We understand. So it's okay if you want to come in with that element of surprise where we don't see you coming, even though we already do. Sorry. That was actually how the Divine Feminine told me to word it, so that's what I did. And I just find her quite comical sometimes. Mother Goddess can be kind of funny herself. The Divine Masculine is not the only one with a sense of humor. I'm just saying. And usually it's the masculine voices that I hear a lot, so usually when I hear the Divine Feminine speak up, that's pretty funny. So anyway, she's saying, it's okay, Divine Masculine, if you want to fake a retreat and then stage a forceful surprise attack on us. It's okay. We already see you coming, but we'll give you the element of surprise that you need and deserve because you are the man. Okay? That is what Divine Feminine wants you to know. So in the 8 of Chalices, this is the magic of bashfulness, the magic of the bundle of the thistle. Much different meaning to the normal 8 of Cups. So you must try to know your partner's character in spite of his reserve. Beneath the thorns, you find the right choice, an honest and sincere person. The Divine Feminine wants you to know, Divine Masculines, that we know that you are an honest and sincere person, even though you have done some lower vibrational things that you're not proud of. But we want to be here in support to tell you, the great Divine Feminine wants you to know that beneath the thorns, we know that you're an honest and sincere person, and we love you in spite of your reserve. That's how they told me to word it, so that's how I did. And so the energy of the Fool is to have an erotic outburst, surrender to love. The magic action frees us from uncertainty, and so it urges us to surrender to love, the willingness and spontaneity, and the spontaneity and willingness. So the Divine Feminine is saying, Divine Masculine, we appreciate your energy of spontaneity. We understand. And we welcome in your beautiful, loving energy at this particular time. Surrender to love. We surrender to love as well. We are surrendering to the divine love. Divine Feminine is saying she is surrendering to divine love. She's surrendering. She is free from the uncertainties now of the world. So she's ushering in the spontaneity and willingness to receive her Divine Masculine, no matter what the past holds for the two of them. That energy is being cleared out. It's being worked on. It's been healed. Okay? So this is a message to the Divine Masculine. If you feel the need to move forward to your Divine Feminine, she's going to welcome you. And these new beginnings are actually on the horizon for you guys. So with the Eight of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, the Divine Feminine is saying that this is the magic of the three candles. And 3 times 3 times 3 is always a beautiful energy there. By the power of 3 times 3. The triple goddess, the mother, the maiden, and the crone. The magic of the three candles is about a complete and gratifying relationship that unites mind, flesh, and spirit. Love is rooted in the intimacy that follows intercourse here. So, Divine Masculine, your Divine Feminine loves you very much, and there's nothing about you that does not satisfy her from every aspect of life, the body, the mind, and the soul. You satisfy all of those parts of her, and she's going to welcome you when you decide to come forward and come toward her. So that is a message from the Divine Feminines to the Divine Masculine in this episode of the Divine Feminines Present the Naked Truth. And so I'm going to pull in Finality and Isis Oracle card for the Divine Feminines. We're going to get a final message from the Mother Goddess to you guys, to us all. It's funny. Before I can even shuffle the deck, we have the rising sun in the energy. So I'm also hearing that animal song, The House of the Rising Sun. A dark phase and struggle is over, Divine Feminines. A new phase is upon you, one of hope and glory, of light and triumph. It is won through the boldness and through much, and now victory is upon you, beloved, for the divine solar child. A new consciousness within you is born. This is Mother Isis in the form of her rebirthing process, just as her husband Osiris went through himself. So I'm going to shuffle. I'm going to get you another message, guys. Mother Isis, Mother Goddess, what message do you have for Divine Feminines right now? In finality to this reading, we have the cartouche. Choose to release that which would lower your vibration, Divine Feminine, into fear. Come back to love and stay true to yourself, and you shall inspire others to think or speak more positively when they are around you. Invoking the power of speech and words for your strength, protection, and spiritual growth will work effectively for you at this time. So, Divine Feminine, that is your message. And underneath that, an overall energy for the final message from Spirit to you guys from the Great Divine Feminine and the Great Divine Masculine. Pyramid of Light, psychic protection. Okay, so this is another warning to you guys. It's time. As a being of light, darker energies may at times seek to interfere with your spiritual progress. There's nothing to fear and only more awareness of the power and the protection the divine love to experience. The Pyramid of Light confirms that energies have been causing interference with your path, and it is now time for that interference to cease completely through loving divine power. So it is time to summon down from the ancestors, gods, goddesses, emissaries of light, way showers, anyone guiding you on this journey from the other side, or the higher powers, or the dimensions that are not of the earth, to summon whatever it is that you have within you for that period, this period of time, for love and light and protection. Shield yourself from the lower energies, guys, because it is your divine destiny. The warrior within you is helping you continue with a worthy path, even in times of difficulty. When faced with challenges, a true warrior will summon more of him or herself to the cause. It might be bringing more wisdom and focus or intelligence or surrounding into the divine. The warrior within has great many inner resourcefulness and determinations. So, Divine Feminines, when energy of negativity is present, it's a sign that we're ready to move more deeply into our feminine divine power. You shall overcome negativity with energy of grace and triumph. Stay in your heart. There's no need to be afraid. This is your affirmation for now, Divine Feminines. I want to wish you guys love and light on your journeys. Stay tuned next week for the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine's Naked Truth episodes. And stay tuned tomorrow because I'm going to come live with a full moon energy read for the collective. Okay. So we're going to ask some different questions about what is going to be surfaced in the energy. What are we going to be transmuting after the fact? And be looking forward to the astral reads because they are coming. I did promise them a few weeks ago, but we're going to get into early April. We're going to find out for each specific sign what is going on in your house of revelations, etc. So if you guys want to book personal readings with me, you guys can find me on Instagram or Facebook. You can type in my email, which is pearlofthec13@gmail.com. You can find me through any kind of social media. If you guys want to book readings with me from YouTube, you can also send me a message to my email to book appointments for reads or to ask me about my services, which are listed in the description box below. If you guys are not subscribed to my channel, please, if you like my videos and you like the flow of my energy, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so that you guys can get notified the next time that I go live and you won't have to miss my readings. So, or if anything, you guys watch the replay, you guys can be happy. Please leave me some comments in the comment sections, guys. Tell me how you're feeling about these videos. If you guys would like me to touch on different topics, what you guys would like to see me touch upon in the collective energy, or if you have specific questions that would pertain to a reading that you feel like the collective should get some advice on. So please give me your feedback, guys. And I want you to have a beautiful night. I want you to have a beautiful week. And thank you for tuning in. This has been a message from brandinimojo at Tribal Awakening Ministries. I want to wish you guys love and light. And until next time, bye.